I pick up a memory. I thought I lost it long ago. Remember the freshness.
Good morning, Sven.
Good morning.
Another quarter has passed, and today you published the report for the third quarter. The group adjusted operating margin was 119 million SEK, and the adjusted operating margin 11.4%. A strong quarter with strong profitability and high order growth. What do you want to highlight in the report?
I think that we have another solid quarter where we have seen growth in all areas. It's been good order intake, especially we can see also that the process technology has had large comeback when it comes to order intake, not as much on the invoicing side. We can also see that we have had growing margins, which is a very good performance from the different divisions, especially in the light of the potential production disturbances that could have occurred. That is something that we have so far been able to manage. Very difficult transportation, very difficult pricing, but so far so good.
You highlighted the process technologies, increased order intake. Anything else you would like to highlight from the divisions?
No, but I think that again a very solid quarter from all of them, and duct and filter doing very well profitability wise, doing fantastic result. We have growth in the largest division. They are gradually increasing their margins, and so overall we are very pleased with the situation.
During the year and these discussions we have had in the reports, we have talked about the material, and you mentioned it slightly, and price situation. It looks like Nederman has so far been handling it in a good way, and there haven't been any major problems. Any changes in this quarter, and what about the near future?
Put it this way, when the crisis and lockdown started, we started to build stock. It was shocking for a lot of people, that even from me and our CFO side, it's okay to increase your stock levels. We have been able to maintain our supply, not without hazards, not without problems, but through the good work from all our people in the organization, we've so far managed fairly well, very well, I would say. We've also been able to push forward the price increases to a large extent to our customer base. Going forward, of course, that this has been a very long development. The risk of disruption is increasing, obviously, and our personnel have to juggle more and more over time here. So we believe and hope that we can manage the situation in a reasonably good way during the last quarter of the year. But again, the risk is increasing, and we have difficulties every day that the organization are facing and handling.
What about the margins? What can we expect there from the increased material prices? Are you able to push out the prices, or?
So far, it's been quite okay. We've been successful in doing that. There has been an acceptance in the market for that. It's very difficult to have a definite answer on that. There will be areas where we will be bit, especially when we have long projects where the order is taken and it takes some time due to different causes to deliver. And here we can see and foresee some difficulties. I think it's mainly coming potentially in first quarter next year. I'm cautiously optimistic that we can handle it during the fourth quarter and hope that we have enough time to rectify and handle it also for the first quarter. But again, it's such a situation with such uncertainties, with many parameters and then unknown. So again, optimistic and relying on very strong performance from our personnel. I remain optimistic.
Another problem, looking into different problems here, is that has become obvious in media and is discussed a lot, is the problems with international transportation and logistics. Nederman has production and customers all over the world. And how has these logistic problems affected you and also getting the products into the market, out to the market?
Well, as mentioned before, it's been the everyday battle for the personnel working in Nederman to find solutions. We have had significant delays, and that could happen also here the last quarter, that there are things that not get shipped as expected. It's also an enormous cost increase when it comes to the transportation. Here, I think we have an advantage. We have had since decades our philosophy: what we produce in Europe stays in Europe, what we produce in US stays in US or North America, what produced in Asia stays in Asia. So here we've had an advantage to localize as much as we can. Of course, there are key components that we are sending from our main factories in Europe, and I would say we are producing much more in Europe for the Asian market than vice versa. So in that case, we've been lucky or been good in foreseeing the future, whatever you want to put, way you want to put it. But it's been possible to handle. That, having said that, it is a massive problem, especially the price increases.
Clean air is important for you, obviously. A few weeks ago, WHO published a new report on the air we breathe. In September, UN had the Clean Air for Blue Sky event. Just to mention a few reports, it looks like the focus on sustainability and clean air is increasing. What does this mean to you and to Nederman?
Short time, I don't think it has had an enormous impact on our P&L, on the sales side of it and so on. But long term and medium term, I think the awareness is growing. There has been an enormous focus, and still is, on the climate change, which is an important issue. But it's also now creeping down to the regional or local effect of not breathing clean air. There has been also reports, you are referring to some reports now, there are coming reports that where you have had bad air, COVID has been more severe, have had more severe effects, I would say. I think that the knowledge among consumers, among people in general, and also decision makers will lead to more stringent legislation, regulations in that, and awareness among the end user. And we can see, I think I've said that before, we can see a significant discrepancy between consumer related brands compared to going further back in the supply chain, because the consumers are more aware. And I can even see that with my kids that are in the early 20s, have a significantly more, they have more insight and they demand more from the corporation and the supplier of their foodstuff, clothes, etc., whatever you want. And I think this is a midterm, long-term, very positive from what we are doing. And we need to continue to be ambassadors telling our story that industry do not have to be part of the problem, because all the solutions are there for the industrial part of it. And then we are not the only problem when it comes to barium particles and things like that. But our portion, the industry's portion, do not have to have an impact.
Reading about Nederman in Dagens Industri or other papers, more and more it's referred to the environmental technology company or even ESG company. Do you agree on that?
We are definitely environmental technology. That's what we live and breathe every day. And we've been doing so almost 76 years. So I think that is very important for us. It's an interesting and a good situation where every time we deliver a system, whether it's from MCT, gasment monitoring, or a filter from process technology, or a capturing device from the EFT division, we make life a little bit better. And I think that's a very interesting and very encouraging start of your workday.
There are many different organizations and so on ranking companies from, for example, sustainability approach. Sustainalytics, a Morningstar company, is doing that, and you have obviously a good ranking there. What does that mean to the company?
It's more of a good, it gives an indicator for investors that we are walking the talk. We do good when we supply a new system, but we also have to have our own process in line with that. So we follow that, and we follow the advice, and we definitely have an ambition to be on the upper quartile on that side of it. What it means day to day, not an immediate effect, but it's more of showing we are doing what we say we should do.
You said the more we sell, the more clean air we produce or create. In the report you mentioned the launch of nanofilters. You also mentioned the connected digitalized filters that has been launched. How is that going? And are the...
No, I think we are seeing the good thing for us in the lockdowns has been that there has been a growing interest for the digitalization. We are working with different, of course, we are working with the digitalization as offering, that what you're referring to, that's our IoT solution, our measurement solutions, our capability of controlling and remotely understand and steer our processes. And there has been a significantly growing interest from our customers to do that. If it's difficult to get the service technician on site, they have finally realized that our offer that we've been working on for the last 5 years is valid. You know, and you can actually do something also in a remote place. When you talk about nanofilters and so on, again, it's new technology. And we are trying to embrace new technologies in developing. It's a fairly conservative or very conservative industry we're working in, but we try to embrace and we try to lead the development when we can by our own engineering efforts, but also in partnerships with the universities, other suppliers, etc., to do the best solutions.
You talked about walking the talk, and I know that you are participating quite a lot in debates and discussions about clean air. The 7th of November, Nederman arranged the Green Awakening event, Grönt uppvaknande, in Stockholm with Dagens Industri. You have been able to attract Ibrahim Baylan, Harald Mix at Altor, Anna Kinberg Batra, and many other well-known people. Why is this important, and what is the Grönt uppvaknande event?
No, it's sort of, we have realized that during the debates and when we say that the knowledge regarding clean air and leaving at that side, the climate is one part, cleaner is one part, but we want to get the focus and people to understand that the solutions are there. And I realized meeting people working as legislators and so on had limited knowledge when regarding solutions. They could see a problem, they could not see that there were solutions, and that's why we want to have a slightly more positive and technology positive message out there. We have problems, but there are also solutions to the problems. And that's what we want to emphasize and be part of that and call it enlightenment in people and let people understand that this is the way, not pointing fingers, but saying, yes, we can do things in a positive way.
And there's an interest in...
I think it's a very big interest. We had in May also a digital seminar for a very short, where we also invited important people and decision makers, and we had quite a big interest, people listening to it, and we've seen so far that a lot of people want to come to this event, and we are positive. We will not change this over a coffee break. This is something that takes long, determined effort to change the view, and also using the system, installing the system, but also letting the decision makers and influencers in different areas, it's worthwhile doing it, and the solutions are there.
Third quarter is published. Congratulations to you and the employees being able to obviously handle the challenges in a good way during the year and the quarter. Looks like you have a good foundation for the fourth quarter. So I wish you and Nederman good luck with the event, but also with the fourth quarter. Thank you very much, Sven.
Thank you very much.
Let's sing for the good ones and all the ones we love. We live in a great time.